Hi guys, and welcome back to LAWLOR'S Law again. This is your raw, unfiltered Birmingham City podcast where we talk about all the nonsense and things that annoy us in the week, which is going to be difficult when you've just won back-to-back 4-0s, but we'll give it a
Mm.
go. This week I'm joined by Max. How we doing, bud?
Good, mate. Good. Absolutely fantastic compared to the last week. I don't know what could have happened for me to be in this such a good mood and high spirits. Who knows?
Yeah, you positive? Like in the group chat, you were like happy, Max. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, not
But
mad this week. I'll try and find something, but I've got to give praise where it's due. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, we've both been relatively shut up, haven't we? Guys, please like, comment, subscribe, get the word out there about this pod. But yeah, we'll jump straight into it. So last week we obviously were very, very irritated by the football, by the
Yeah.
constant tactics, by the timidness of the team, and it turns out that Davis has completely turned around to us and gone, well, you know what, have a 4-0 at home against Portsmouth. Max, do you want to go through what your thoughts were?
Yeah. Obviously, last week when we all spoke, it was you got slightly fed up with the sidewards, backwards, boring, slow, high possession football. We didn't do it as much, or not really at all, against Preston, and we got that result. And then we went to Bristol thinking we'd do the same, and he reverted back to it a little bit, and it was poor and it was boring, and there was lack of attack. And yeah, you just started to think, is it kind of one step forward, two steps back?
Mhm.
Um, and then we all didn't really know how to feel going into Portsmouth. I I predicted a loss potentially. Jordan, you kind of threw out maybe a draw. You went for a win, I think, but I was a bit skeptical because I just felt like if we were going to continue playing that football that he wanted to play, or he seemed so kind of stalwart with playing all the time, that the result would be pretty much the same. I just thought we might get turned over on the break, but I was so pleasantly surprised with what I saw on Saturday against Portsmouth. I can't really believe it happened. I was kind of sat there in shock. I don't know if
Yeah,
you were the same, but I was just like, I that first 10 minutes, I was like, what? Where has this team been? Like,
yeah.
it's like we've been waiting for it to click for weeks and weeks and weeks. And you always say that you need, a good 10 to 15 games to bed into a league, especially coming back up again from League One. So I wanted to give Davis time, at least 10 to 15 games, see if we can get this team working together. Obviously, we're 13 games in now, 13 games in. So
14, I think now.
14, so we were at 12 when he played
Yeah.
Portsmouth. It was kind of right banging in that middle of that 10 to 15. And it was like, right, are we gonna start moving forward, or are we just gonna keep going one forward, two back? Because I think patience was starting to wear a bit thin with that
Mhm.
style of football. And then it was just a pleasant surprise. It was crazy. I think we beat Mansfield 4-0 on the last day last year, and we just tore them apart. And obviously, they're a very poor team. But going into that Portsmouth game, the results that they had, you didn't think
Mhm.
it would be like that. Now I know they had quite a lot of first team players out, I believe. Some of the players that you said about that would start that were dangerous,
Yeah.
they were either injured or they started on the bench. So your dangerous players kind of didn't start. And but still, I was like, Portsmouth have. I think they beat. Did they beat Middlesbrough and draw with Leicester? I
They've
think.
had they've had big results. There was obviously
Mm.
I'm best friends with a Portsmouth fan. You'll see him, I'm sure, as the pod goes on. But that whole family, the Williams, like they are all massive Portsmouth fans,
Mhm.
and they have a habit of grinding out very very good results. And they hadn't lost by one or more. They haven't lost by more than one goal until they played us.
Yeah,
Their defensively have been very difficult to break down
yeah,
and we made them look like children. And I mean, John said to me after the game when I saw him in Greg's, he was like, "I'm not being funny, but the fact that it was only 4-0, like he said, I'm grateful it was 4-0. Like, and their manager even said that, like it was like you just said, pure dominance. I
yeah.
mean, give me a bingo card, and I don't think I ever would have had Paik Sung Ho diving header as the opening goal.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I'd have had any header as a goal, and we ended up getting fucking three. So, again, it was another shock moment because we've been so poor from set pieces, both defending and attacking. We got obviously the Neumann one against Preston, so that was good, and then we obviously lost against Bristol, so it was like we're not going to see this again. And then fuck knows what they'd been doing, but they must have drilled the shit out of each other in training with set pieces, and the set piece coach has woken up. You know, the one that focuses on it, and we've scored some fantastic goals from set pieces. The Pake one was definitely on from the training ground because
Yeah,
he just lingered on the edge of the box, and there was men in the 6 yard and on the keeper because I think the ref kept trying to stop the cross from coming in because he was seeing there was kind of a melee in that 6 yard
yeah,
box. There's a lot of pushing going on, so he's warning them about it. And then he finally blew the whistle, crossed into Pake, and I don't know how it happened, but nobody had him, so he was just literally set himself,
yeah.
diving header straight in, and it was fantastic. And then the other header from what was it
A
Wata,
latter.
second one, yeah, Wata's header. I think that was training ground as well, but I think he was meant to flick it backwards into the 6 yard box to kind of have like a follow on
Yeah,
header or a follow on shot.
yeah,
He didn't realize he'd scored, well, he didn't realize it was him that had scored. I think he thought he'd flicked it onto someone, and
yeah.
then he stood up, and everyone was like, "Nah, mate, it was you. You fucking straight in." So that was that one, and then Cochrane, which we'll talk about it in a sec. I've had my doubts about him defensively, but I've never denied, and I said it in a pod a couple of weeks ago. I've never denied the quality he has with his left foot, and he
Yeah.
has a fucking banging left foot. And we saw it with the cross for the goal for Clara against Portsmouth. And we saw it last year against Wrexham at home, which was the crossing for Jay's header. We've seen that. And we saw a goal against, who was it away? Was it Stevenage away? We got like a late winner from him. He
Yeah, he like
smashed it
smashed it in, didn't he?
yeah, from outside the box. And then against Millwall, I mean, hang it in the fucking Louvre before it gets stolen because that was unbelievable, mate.
Yeah.
Unbelievable scenes. Cannot believe it. Like I watched it and I was like, who the fuck do we think we are? Like
Yeah.
genuinely. Who are we trying to fool here? Because we are balling right now. We're on fire. But yeah, Portsmouth. I mean, every player to a man. I couldn't really fault anybody. It was fantastic to finally get a proper look at Duck, coming in and leading that line with Jay. He had some good touches against Port Vale, which was kind of, I think it was his only proper appearance
Yeah.
for like a half or whatever before he got injured again because he came in injured, played against Port Vale for a bit, and then got injured after that again. So to see him come in and play as well as he did, I still saw something in him from Port Vale, but I was getting frustrated as I spoke about in recruitment before
Yeah.
that he wasn't able to get fit, and I was just like, mate, we've got this bloke, and he's just fucking,
Dead.
he's just yeah, he's just dead.
Yeah.
He's just like yeah, do you know what I mean? He just can't get fit. So fantastic to see him and Jay work. It's just clicks, man, because they just work so well together. Uh, a goal last night for Gray was just that 1-2 into the box. They can just read each other really well. So it was really good to see him against Portsmouth, and he dominated. He fooled that defender to try and get the pen. Obviously, the penalty, as I'm sure all Blues fans will agree, was pretty poor by Jay's standards. It was really poor, and the follow up was even more scary because it was
Yeah.
like 2 yards out. He just had to put his foot on it, and it was in.
He missed
Um,
it, didn't he? Just missed the ball.
he just completely missed it. But the way that we started that game, because that was after 5 minutes, when we missed the penalty, it was annoying. But I was like, we've started so well. I've got no fear that we'll get a goal soon if we carry on the way we are. And within 3.5 minutes, Pate puts the header in. So,
Yeah.
and then it was just from there, it was just fantastic. Dominant performance. Roberts, Rolls Royce again,
Oh,
fantastic. He's no wonder Sunderland fans loved him and were sad to see him go because that player is the epitome of quality championship footballer, in my opinion. I don't know whether he can do it in the Premier League as much, but when he's in this league, he's one of the best, mate. I'm telling you, as well as Doyle. Like Doyle, now he's found his
oh.
role at 6. He's them two players. You got to sign them, mate. You got to sign them properly.
So
Just sign them up.
two things about Patrick Roberts. One, and Tommy said this to me last night at the game, and I couldn't agree more. He gives me that Bernardo David Silva vibe with his left foot, the way he turns on the ball and kind of, he holds it and spins.
Mm. Yeah,
And then
I agree. Go on. Yeah,
the other thing is obviously I got bored earlier, so I was talking to Josh, who does Fitzborough's podcast, and we were looking up his transfer value just on market value, see what the sketch is. It's about
mm.
7.4 million euro, so about 5 point something million
Yeah,
sterling. If
Mm.
Sunderland are saying to us that he'd be worth that much, you'd be buying him January the 1st. And I've said this a few weeks now. You tell me that if Sunderland turned around and went 5 to 10 mil Patrick Roberts, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. All
Yeah,
day.
straight
Like,
straight
straight
away.
away. Beadle as well I'd look at because Beadle's really impressing me. He's young and Beadle has the potential to be a keeper for the next 10 years for me.
Yeah, I don't. He's still getting a few pelters, isn't he, Beadle? And I don't get it because
He just kept 2 clean sheets.
he had his bad game. Well, not even his bad game because it wasn't really his fault. But the was it the whole game that he played? He did, didn't he? He played against Hull.
Yeah.
Let the three in. So
But
you know
he couldn't do anything about them three. It could have been about 8 without him.
exactly. But then after that, you've had was it Wrexham after that
I
or
think
before that? No, after that
after
was
Hull, I think
Preston.
did you have 1-0 1-0 Preston,
And then Bristol, and then these
1-0
two.
Lass, and then these two. So he's conceded 1 goal in 4 games.
4 games, yeah. The bloke's conceded 1 goal in 4 games, as well as obviously Neumann and Clara at the back, solid brick fucking wall. Don't want to take them on because they'll just absolutely pummel you into the side of the fucking pitch because they're incredible. That we all lost a bit of faith with that partnership, but it's now starting to come to fruition that it works.
Also going out on a limb here, and I'm hoping I'm correct here, but I think it might have been Wes Harding for Millwall last night, and we had the return of the Clara shoulder barging someone to the ground. Like Clara, absolutely, like just
Yeah,
fully like Murphy from last season style, and just sends the man about 4 foot in the air and flying, and the ref just looks and goes, "Nah, get up."
he got booked against Portsmouth for doing the same thing. He put someone in the side. He does it like every game, but
It's
it's what Blues fans and everyone watching this wants to see is that passion. And in the last 2 games, I said last week's pod, I said that I was fed up of this boring football. Davis has got to change something. He's got to swallow his pride a little bit and change. He did a little bit against Preston. It worked, and then he reverted back, so that pissed everybody off. But I said these 2 games, Portsmouth and Millwall, he's got to kind of swallow his pride a little bit, change it up. I said shackles off. I want shackles off for these two
yeah.
games at home. Go and attack from the off. Maybe mix up the formation a bit. We chatted about it last week, and then the starting 11 has to be what we want it to be in terms of the players we want to start. Like stop starting Kumas in a position that he's not really performing at. It's why we keep starting a Kumas before in the first like couple of months when he wasn't performing, and yeah, it was fantastic to see Doyle in there, Roberts in there, Duck coming back, and even Iwata at right back is outstanding at the
Oh,
moment. Um,
uh,
go
at
on.
Guardiola style right back, and he is playing that inverted fullback slash striker kind of. It's like prime Glenn Johnson, like just appearing in
Yeah,
every position possible at the minute.
yeah, his average position last night I think was like over the halfway line. So like he's just absolutely bombing forward. And touching on that, I really struggle to see how Led gets back in.
I do as well, but I
Yeah,
feel that Laird's going to take a while anyway for fitness wise. But I
yeah.
feel the thing is with for Laird is he's a very capable championship right back, and we all love him. He
Mm.
also gives you very good cover for Alex Cochrane.
Yeah, yeah, he does. Yeah, he can play on that
Because
side as
come
well.
January, you're gonna have Buchanan's return, but let's be honest, Buchanan's gonna take a while.
Mm.
You can be 100% recovered from an injury, but you can't be 100% match sharp again. You might.
Yeah.
I don't like to say because I love Buchanan. I'd probably loan him out in January and let him get some fitness somewhere.
Potentially, if you're going to
You're
stick
gonna
with
have
him.
the FA Cup coming up. You're gonna have all the league games coming up. You're gonna start to need to rotate around January.
Yeah, I love Buchanan though, but I think my wish for him is that I'm almost seeing like gets kind of fit in January, starts training, comes straight back into the team. I'm being a bit stupid there because I know that that's not how football works, and he's going to take a fair few months to get back into it. But by that point, it's the spring anyway, so it's almost the end of the season. So maybe you're right. Um, Cochrane,
Cochrane's
yeah.
undroppable, unfortunately now.
Well, I still think he gets a lot of. I think he's had really good kind of cover and protection in the last couple of games. Keshi being somebody that
Mm.
against Portsmouth really did well to help him out. I think when the play broke down, Keshi's just fantastic at getting back as well. But I've always said, yeah, he's got a wonderful left foot. I'm slightly dubious about him in terms of his position against a decent winger because Millwall had their strongest winger out last night, which was that Aziz.
Hmm.
Uh, he was out, So if he'd have played, I think maybe he'd have had a tougher game if that they'd have switched those, kind of inverted those wingers, if that's what they wanted to do. He's kind of one of their best attackers, and he wasn't playing. So yeah, it might have been a bit different. But I want to still give Cochrane time and stick with him because he's still keeping clean sheets along with Clara, Neumann, Beadle, and Iwata, isn't he? So we want
Yeah,
to keep it as it is. As long as they all stay fit, I wouldn't. I don't know because we'll touch on it in a bit. But I don't know what I'd do for Middlesbrough because
same 11 for me,
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
You don't.
you can't
What
just
we
play
always
everything.
said, you don't change a winning team unless an injury happens. Don't change that up at all. I will give one. I'll give a bit of praise to Portsmouth.
Mm.
As much as they were 4-0 down, their fans are fantastic.
They're
And they kept
brilliant.
going all
Yeah,
game. When they are
yeah,
4-0 down and you can hear them singing, I can hear them from Tilton going, we're going to win 5-4 and
yeah,
giving it and having a laugh. And I don't think any football fan left the stadium early that day. Any Pompey fan 4-0 down, they
yeah,
clapped their team off. You know what?
yeah.
I will give all respect to Portsmouth Football Club because that fan base is incredible.
Yeah, I think only a handful left, didn't they? And they were 4
Yeah.
0 and they stayed, they sang, and they were kind of doing the "We've got the ball, we've lost the ball"
Yeah.
song. We're fucking shit, and then we join in and say, "Yeah, you're fucking shit, you're fucking shit." But I always appreciate a team that can laugh at themselves and take themselves a bit lightly because they knew they were crap that day.
Yeah.
And in comparison to that, those fans are proper fans to me because they stick with them no matter what. They still clap
Yeah.
the team off. They've done all right this season so far. The manager's done okay for them, and they clapped him as well when he came over. Millwall fans, mate, can
I was
fuck
just
off.
about to say, speaking
Fuck
of good fan
off,
base to shit,
man. What a load of fucking jokers they are, man. Honestly, any Millwall fans watch this. You're all a bunch of fucking tossers. You come up, yeah, you come up on a midweek, and it's it ain't even that long to go, is it really? London to Birmingham, come on, it's not
it
that
was
far.
pitiful. Their away
Yeah,
following is dross.
rain, the weather's shit, but you were like third in the league last night, and you've excelled in what you thought you were going to do in your season so far, and 24 points is magic so far for you. And you should be happy that you're up in the right end of it and not down the bottom losing 4-0. Because, yeah, you had a bad result and we battered the shit out of you, because I love saying that. Just like we did when we beat you 6-0. Ha ha ha. Anyway. But yeah. So, they followed them up to us, and it was just empty. It was emptying at 3-0, I think. Emptying at 3-0.
Yeah,
So,
it was like a mass exit. I'm telling you, they will always to me forever be the team that let Leroy Lee to put a hat trick past them. That's all they'll ever be to me. Is you got Leroy Lee to man like
you know what? Their players turn around at the end and they've all fucked off. And it's like, I get it's poor, but even like us at Coventry, like I stayed at Coventry and clapped at the end. And I mean, I had a bit of a shout and a bit of a moan because it was expensive to go there. It was terrible day, terrible football, and we got battered. But you still have to show them that you care about them, and just to
yeah,
disappear at 3-0. The championship's mad anyway because you could be 3-0 down, and some teams come back and draw 3-3 or win. They
win.
do win 4-3. You never know in this league. Like you can't just fucking leave after an hour. And what sort of fan are you? So them compared to Portsmouth, Portsmouth are up here for me because they are class. What a class
Yeah.
fan base! I said that on the other pod that they're a fantastic following. They've got a great fans. They'd be
Hmm.
right up for it. Millwall, salty little bastards, mate. Fuck
Oh,
off back to
just
London. Fuck off back to
honestly,
London.
like they've got the vibe of the same hard men they were from the 80s with the fan base of the new generation that will cry and walk home after like three goals have been conceded. It was terrible. They gave nothing all game. They just,
Yeah.
I was literally most of the game I could just see over was just people getting arrested in their end. And I was like, really? Like, and
Yeah,
fair play to
yeah,
our fan base because none of
yeah,
our fan base were trying to get over and hit them or anything. We were just laughing at them. Like, and
yeah.
I'm
They were
like, you
just
know what? That's respect.
yeah, exactly. They were just getting pushed back by the police, and that's all they were trying to do was just kick off at the police. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, just fuck off.
I would
Why are
argue
you
the
doing?
Millwall performance was better than the Portsmouth performance, mainly because it was Millwall's strongest available team. We were
Mm.
more dominant, didn't score just off set pieces, and honestly, I don't think there was, apart from one save in the first half, I still don't recall Beadle making another save. I don't think they offered anything. We made third place in the championship look leagues below us. If that was like an FA Cup fourth round tie and it was like non-league team versus a championship team, you would have believed it from that scoreline and that performance because they just looked like they had nothing. They had no,
Mhm.
no. I'll say two words that sum up that game for me is two words: is Marvin Dukes. because I know he didn't score, get an assist, but Christ alive, that man can see a pass and play ball, and he
Yeah.
fucking massive. Like he is humongous.
Yeah, I said in the chat we're in, I said that he's like it's like Pokemon. He's like Djokovic, but he's like evolved because he's fucking unreal with his feet at the same time as being a big shit house as well and
Yeah.
strong.
On
It's fucking mental.
on the note of shit house, and Jordan's not on tonight, so Jordan won't be able to obviously tell us what like he told me about this on the phone. Apparently, when we went 2-0 up against Pompey, one of their players was pulling Newman. So Newman, obviously, when Awata scored, I don't think Newman's realised we've scored. He's turning around and starting on the defender. Dux has got in between and pushed them apart, and then just started celebrating arms in the air against the Portsmouth defender.
I think
Literally just in front
I
of him
think I
doing.
saw. Yeah, I think I saw the bit with Neumann and their player because it goes in and Neumann's only bothered about the player stood next to
Yeah.
him, so I thought they're having a bit of a go to. So I think yeah, I did see that, but that's fine. That just
Dux gets in his face and just fully
yeah. But
like
touching on what you said about the performance, yes, Millwall probably even better than Portsmouth. But I've seen two fan reaction videos because sometimes I like to watch kind of their point of
yeah,
view of what they think. So whether it's on YouTube or whatever, just see what they think. And both that I watched, both sets of fans on those fan reaction videos said it could have been 6 or 7, both fucking games,
yeah,
both games. So we've played two teams off the park that much that they genuinely felt they could have been battered 7-0.
yeah,
Now, if we're talking about as it clicks now, I fucking hope so because that's mental that we played two teams like that. Portsmouth were no mugs. Millwall were unbeaten away, and they'd started fantastically well. And then they come to us and we make them look like fucking under 13s.
yeah. It
It's
was
ridiculous. And I've said this before as well that this league is mental this year. There's a lot of average teams out there that are getting runs together. Millwall being one of them. So they've had
mhm.
4 wins in a row, and everyone's like, "Shit, we're a bit scared of Millwall because they've won 4 in a row. They're undefeated away." I said to you, I messaged you or messaged the chat and said that I'd watched Millwall against Watford because
Yeah, Dross.
Watford have been doing really well at home as well.
Hmm.
And I said it was a fucking terrible game. I said they're both shit. They're
Hmm.
both poor football teams, and if we play the way we play in these last two, maybe barring Coventry because they are flying at the moment and they continue to. We can beat anyone. These two performances make me feel like I'm not scared of anyone
Yeah,
again. But can I just pray if Chris Davis watches this, mate, you ain't gonna. But if you ever do, please stick with it and keep playing this football and this really high intensity, high passion, high energy
do it
football.
away from home.
Do it away from home. Stick with it, yeah, and go and attack and go and kind of Middlesbrough only scraped a draw against Leicester, who have also been shit.
Yeah.
So go and play this football again, and maybe scare them a little bit, make them think twice about what they're doing and how they've set up because they won't maybe expect us to do that.
I don't
And
fear Middlesbrough. My worry is that this is going to be the first team we're going to play that deploys back five wing backs.
yeah,
They are the reason I don't fear them is even though they're going to play really wide, is their
mm,
whole game plan is cross the ball in. Listen, you can cross the ball into a Clara Newman with Beadle running out and collecting the ball for 90 fucking minutes all day long. Because I
yeah.
am adamant that I don't think I don't last 2 games I haven't seen Clara lose a header. And I think if Neumann is going to lose a header, Neumann's also very quick and will just appear and get the ball back. Like they
Yeah.
are unbelievable defenders.
Well, if they think that they can play against us and do that, maybe they should have a watch the Preston full 90 minutes because
Yeah.
that's all Preston did. All Preston did was cross the ball in. All they were trying to do was get that extra kind of winger overload, give him a little pass, a 5 yard pass for him to whip it in the box. That's all they kept doing for the whole game, and we just tidied it up every single time. And you've got Neumann and Clara in the middle. You've got little mental Iwata on right back who's like 4 foot tall, but every time he jumps, he's 9 foot, and he
Yeah.
manages to fucking header every single header away. I can't believe he does it, but he does. Then he's up the field. Then he's back down, right back down the field. He's just relentless. The team at the moment is just clicking after these 2 games. It's exciting. All the Blues fans are happy. We're all anticipating something positive going forward. If we can get a half decent result on Saturday and then we play terrible Norwich when we come back after the international break, we could be definitely cemented in the top 6 when we come back against Norwich.
Well,
So,
we're 1 point off playoffs, aren't we? So yeah, there's every, and it infuriates me more now about how short we were last month.
mm,
Because even if you got a point against Hull and you turn that deficit around against Chef
yeah,
Wednesday and actually do what you're meant to do, 3 more
yeah.
points, you're pretty much third.
I know, and it's that easy, isn't it? Because I said it because the form guide is that everyone's got losses in their last 5 games, all the way through to even Coventry have got a loss now,
Mhm.
because they got bullied to shit by Wrexham.
Kiefer
Um,
Maud.
oh mate, you got Kiefer Moore massively. They got
Not
taught a
even Kiefer
lesson.
Maud. Perfect hat trick as well. Left foot, right foot header. Oh,
And you know what? Watching these 2 games as well, I said last night I was like, give me 11v11 at St Andrews against Coventry. We'll fucking shit them. I can't wait to play them now if we play like this because we'll shit them. I don't
the
care.
the loss at home might have been one of the best things that could have happened in terms of it woke us up at home and Davis
Yeah,
kind of no, we need to actually go
yeah.
front footed. I mean,
Mm.
the only fear I had last night was when I looked at the bench and saw justice for Fujimoto, man, because he got dropped for Robinson. And I was like, you've got one centre back on the bench. Why have Cash in hand, Robinson on the bench? Don't do that. Why is he even back on the bench? He doesn't deserve to be back in the squad. He needs to be exiled to the under 21s for his behaviour. Not
No, no.
a
Yeah.
chance.
Fujimoto for me, I don't think. I think he'll either. What's his deal? Because did we buy him or was he
Yeah, he's a
loaned?
buy.
He's a buy.
It's more annoying because loads of teams, including like your Blackburns and people like that, were after this man's signature.
I just don't know what. It must be something about him, mustn't there? And he looked okay when he played against Port Vale, but
I'm
only
hoping
played
he
for
just it's just fitness and strength and adjusting to a new league and maybe culture of moving to England and maybe all that stuff kind of fusing into one.
Mm.
But
But no one gets in the team. No one gets in the team right now, do they? With the way we're playing, and that's where you feel sorry for Kyogo that you can't really take Jay out and start him as much as you wanted to give him minutes because you can't take a 7 goal all comps Jay Stansfield out of the team, can you? Because they're working so well together, him and Duck.
his best performance of the season yesterday, by the way. I'm
Yeah,
throwing that one out there.
yeah.
Grafted, took his
Mate,
goal so well.
he graphs every week, but you've still got wankers in the stands that say, "Oh, he hasn't scored for 5 minutes. He's shit. What a waste of money." Because he doesn't have to score every week. I said he wanted to bring more to his game anyway. Just like Paik said, he wanted to bring more goals to his game this year, and he's doing it. And he's
Watch that second. I urge any fan who watches this that says Jay Stansfield's crap to watch that second goal against Millwall. He could
yeah.
have very easily took a shot across goal and had a dig, but he looked and he went for Dimmy instead.
Yeah, he's clever. He's clever. Confidence is high. Confidence is something. It's easy to get on a losing streak and be really down in the dumps, and everybody's playing shit. Look at Norwich. You got players like Josh Sargent at Norwich that they're really good strikers. He's a really good striker,
Hmm.
but he just can't score at the moment, and the whole team's just shit. So you can go on a run of winning, you can go on a run of losing. Right now, we need to keep it on the positive side. Kyogo, you still feel sorry for him. We spoke earlier about the video at the end and the thing at the end that we've seen with the fans, just loving him, giving him some appreciation. I think he needs that because it will just remind him that we're still with him. He knows that we want him to succeed and that we're not angry at him.
No,
Now,
we love him.
but the only point I'd make is that it's easier to be like that with him when we're winning 4-0
Yeah,
twice in
yeah.
twice in 3 days. It's easier to let him off because it's like, don't you worry, mate. We want you to score. We know you're going to, so we're going to clap you and sing your name because the other 11 players are scoring for us and we're winning. You're scoring 8 goals in 2 games, so don't worry about it. If we'd lost both of those home games, I don't know if he'd be getting his name sung like he did at the end and the support because they'd be like, "Why can't you fucking score? We can't score. We can't win at home. Why can't you score?" So
It's gonna
it's.
come. I'm still
Do
gonna say it's happening.
you understand what I'm saying, though? Do you
Oh
understand what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah,
about
yeah.
like you how we view him changes depending on like how the result was. So yeah, you lose those two against Portsmouth and Millwall, and we're not. I don't think we're doing that to him at the end of the
I
game.
think I think the thing is we are all, even Birmingham fans, we're smart individuals at times. You can
Mm.
see when someone's putting on like
Oh,
theatrics
yeah,
that they're upset. You can
yeah.
see the way that final whistle when he put his head over his shirt and he was holding his arms basically like he was going to cry.
I know.
He wants this more than anything, man. He wants that goal. And
Yeah.
you could see like he wanted to cry last night when they were sung his name. You saw it like the way he was touched, and he was like, "Oh man!" Like he didn't want to go and do that little fist pump with the fans, but all the players were like, "No, do it! They're singing your name. Go!"
Yeah, yeah, he felt a
Like,
bit embarrassed, didn't he? Yeah, he gets. I said to you, he seems to get at least one-on-one every game at the
yeah,
moment when he comes on, and every single time he gets his one-on-one, he gets his chance. He's just fluffing his lines. So I want one of them to go in. I have a sneaky feeling, and I know that Tommy does as well, that he may pop one in on Saturday. I've
yeah.
got a very strange feeling that he might on Saturday, and if he does, I fucking called it. So and Tommy's
Yeah.
called it as well.
Well,
So we'll see.
this is only going to be a quickish pod because it's been such a positive week, and we love positivity actually at the Blues.
Yeah,
It's nice to have. So
yeah.
we'll quickly move on to the last two things, and the first thing is going to be Max. What is your score prediction for Middlesbrough?
Score prediction for Middlesbrough is 3-1 Blues.
Nice.
And that is I've gone the complete opposite. It's mad what 2 wins does for you, the way you view the fucking team. But I think that, and let me say, it's like contextual. So if you play that football with that starting 11 on Saturday, we can win 3-1, 100%.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you go backwards again, we might lose or we might draw. So I think if as long as Davis sticks by his guns now, and now he's changed a little bit, I think we can win the game, and I think we can win it well and score more goals because we look so fluid at the moment going
Yeah.
forward. It's scary. We look really scary. One of the scariest in the league going forward in the last 2 games, you'd say. So we can definitely score goals. Don't be scared of anybody. That can happen. That's my opinion. As long as he sticks with his guns from these last 2 games, it could be 3-1 with
I'm going to go
Kyogo
for a nice
scoring.
comfortable.
Kyogo getting the third
Yes.
off the bench.
Yes.
Kyogo
I'd
getting
love
the
that.
third off the bench. Yeah,
I'd love
yeah.
that more than anything. I'm going to go 3-0. I think 2-0 and Kyogo finally does it. Like, nice little
2-1.
breakaway at the end.
Yeah,
And I'd love to see Ducks open. I want Ducks to open his account because he's worked hard for it and he looks like he's gonna. Him and Stansfield have such a connection already. It's
hmm
scary. Like
hmm
them two, that is your perfect big and little one
yeah.
press. And Ducks doesn't half like graft as well, man. Ducks
Oh,
runs
massively.
about.
Yeah, yeah, massively. I also want Roberts to. I know he scored at Wrexham, but I keep him every time he cuts in and goes
Hit
onto his
it.
left foot on the edge of the box. In front of the gill, if I'm sat there, I'm like, mate, just fucking hit it. And then he takes another player on, then another player, and then he has to pass it off. But I'm like, mate, just hit it because you are going to curl one in the top corner in top bins in the next couple of weeks. I'm guaranteeing it. He's gonna score. So want him to bang one in as well, top corner curler.
Yeah.
But yeah, Duck and Kyogo, can this be their week? We really hope so. Fingers crossed.
I'd like to see Stan keep his run up now as well. Like I'd like Stansfield's a confidence player, and I'd like to see, and you can see it. Like I was loving the camaraderie with when Kyogo missed that one-on-one, the ball went out of play. You could see Kyogo was wounded, and Stan was straight over gave him a hug. He was like, "It's all right, man, keep going, keep going." They all want it so bad for him.
Yeah,
That
I
team
think
want nothing more than to just give Kyogo
yeah,
a goal.
everybody does. Everyone's like everyone's just like breathing it into the goal, sucking it into the goal. I think that if on Saturday, I think we get a penalty. I think we get a
Yes,
penalty. I think we get a penalty. If we get it at 2-1, Kyogo might take it if Jay's gone off. But you said about Jay keeping his run up. If we get a penalty to start and it's 0-0, I think Jay scores the penalty. He smashes the shit out of it into the top corner or bottom corner after his crap penalty the other day.
yeah.
And he just goes over to the fans and he just does that right in Luke Aylin's face, the little gypsy bastard, and just goes like that to him because he is a horrible little bastard. I hope Clara bends him over and fucks him in the arse for 95 minutes because I hate him. So let's hope we fucking do him in and Clara does him in.
I hope he has one of his little marauding runs. He does, and Clara just absolutely just shoulders him out of it,
Yeah,
shoulders him
I hate
into the
him.
shadow realm.
I hate him. When he came to St Andrews last time we were in the Championship, he
Was that
was
the 1-0 win against Leeds?
yeah.
Yeah.
We were singing at him the whole game and he was trying to give it back, but he's a little shit house anyway. I hate him. So let's hope we batter him.
Well, on the note of shithouses, let's move on to Wanker of the Week.
Okay.
I am going to go for Millwall fans, your whole fan base, and I don't care who sees this. Your whole fan base is atrocious. You're terrible. You're half a fan base. Like, I'm not being funny. I don't care if it's a cold Tuesday night and it's pissing it down my brain. And I said,
Mm.
some fans around me, when I said that's all they've brought, they were like, it's a cold Tuesday night. I was like, no. I went, you give us 2,500 away at Millwall on a Tuesday night in the same weather, we sell it out
Yeah.
every day of the week.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
Massively. Yeah.
pitiful. They all strapped off. They all walked away. Hardly made a noise. Made their annoying little noise for about 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
then just cried about it and got arrested. And just it's just boring. Like they're just boring. Past it fans, man. And honestly, if that club liquidated tomorrow, I'd celebrate. Shit
Yeah.
fans. Shit
Not a lot.
fan.
Not a lot
Shit
of people
club.
like them. Not a lot of people like them, and they even sing it and say we don't care. So whatever.
You don't have to care.
Wanker,
It's like, fuck
yeah.
them.
Wanker of the week for me. I'm going to put myself forward for it, Jay.
Because you said Portsmouth will win.
Because I've said a couple of things this week. I said that we'd lose 1-0 to Portsmouth, and it wasn't anywhere near that. And I felt like a bit of a wanker. And then I also sent a message to the Blues chat on Saturday and said that Paik and Iwata were the undroppables, and that they never get dropped, and Paik just keeps his place. And I think I looked a bit silly with that as well,
When
because
they both scored.
that was against Portsmouth. Because after the poor game against Bristol, I didn't know whether he would kind of drop Paik or Iwata and change it round. Not against Millwall, but against Portsmouth, I thought maybe he would. But I sent that message and said they're the undroppables, and then they shut me the fuck up when they both scored. So I got a bit of banter for that in the chat, but that's fine. So potentially wanker of the week is me. Viewers out there, let's all go for Millwall fans, but just have a an honourable mention to me being a twat. So we'll just go with that.
Basically, Millwall, fucking just either go and support your team and enjoy the game, or just don't turn up and be a knobhead. Like, it's not difficult. Like, it
Yeah.
just you like listen. Green Street and all them days are finished now. Like, fucking grow up. You're all fucking 70-year-old men now in some fucking Stone Island bullshit, thinking you're bigger than that. Shut the fuck up and watch your game. You little tin pot West Ham wannabe dickheads. Like.
They've still got their baby on, haven't they, walking
No,
down?
you know what I mean? Like, fuck off. Like, B-Tech Peaky Blinder Bell Ends, man. Like, piss off.
You'll never
Like,
be us. You'll never be us.
oh,
You try,
yeah,
you'll
just
never be us.
honestly, like,
Yeah.
kiss my ass. But yeah, this has been Lawlor's Law. It's been great talking to you, Max, again.
Yeah, mate, and you. Love it.
Please like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Yeah, keep right on, guys.
Keep right on.